the ever-capable and always culpable Constable Finstable.
Good morning, everyone out there in internet land. This is the ever-capable and always culpable Constable Finstable. Once again, that's me. Today, we're going to make something for breakfast. As you can see, we've got some sausages going nicely there. And this is going, yes, and I quite agree. This is going to be our elixir, which is going on lower than medium. As you can see, it's melting. We're going to add a little salt to it because that's unsalted. And as that butter melts out. Now, over here on this one pan, on this cutting board rather, we've got ordinary organical bread. And the reason I've done that is to demonstrate if you cut it diagonal. So we'll do that once again. Make sure you get a nice clean cut. As you can see, they're all cut up and good to go. There's nothing stuck together. We're going to move that to the side for a moment, so we can demonstrate other things we're going to prepare. In this ordinary bowl, we're going to put an egg, and I will show you. When you get your eggs out of the carton, if you make a nice diagonal pattern, they will be easier to get the rest out. So, one egg there, and one egg here. Right, moving the eggs to the side for a moment. In this first bowl with the whip, we're concentrating on that one now. We're going to put a little lemon juice. Approximately a quarter cup of flour. A little bit of sugar. I'm going to turn that off for a moment. Approximately 2 tablespoons. You don't want it too sweet because why? It will burn, remember? Yes, yes. Quite good. A little bit of vanilla. And our mulling spices. A little bit of nutmeg, approximately 1/8 of a teaspoon. Some cloves, also 1/8 of a teaspoon-ish. And last but not least, cinnamon. About a teaspoon. Yes, yes. Mixing that together with a little bit of oil. About 2 tablespoons worth. And then, in the fullness of time here, because I failed to get it out, a little bit of baking powder. This will be the French toast puff. So, we're going to have that a stir, fold it all together. Then we're going to add, last but not least, some milk. Also, not too much, you don't want it to burn. That was probably about 2 tablespoons, and we're going to fold it together. Now, you want this somewhat viscous, but lighter than, say, pancake mix, which we'll also do a demo. Then we're going to have those sausages a stir, make sure they're good to go. Delightful. Very good, very good. Here we go. Put that to the carrier. Now in our other bowl, moving this to the side, once again we'll do a similar procedure. A little bit of nutmeg. A little bit of clove. And if you're feeling sporty, you can grind up some anise, which is very, very good. Star anise. Some cinnamon. Our vanilla. And then some sugar and some milk. Now, this is the ordinary French toast mix. Then we're going to finish it off with a bit of milk, approximately a half a cup. This procedure, you will only require a fork. Just give it a whip around and around she goes. To where the spices are all being incorporated. Some may float to the top, and that's all good. Yeah, quite good. Now, we're going to put our pan with some oil. We're going to fire up the small one on low and the large one on medium or slightly higher. As you can see, we've got food turners that agree with non-stick pans. You don't want to scratch your non-stick pan, ever. Right. Sausages are going good. Now, we've got our bread. As you saw moments ago, waiting for this to heat up properly. Going to turn our elixir butter back on, also very low, and we're going to currently add some syrup. Amber or ordinary maple syrup, approximately a quarter cup. And that's going to become our elixir, ladies and gentlemen. The elixir is good, is it not, Edward? Yes. Yeah. Private joke, you know. Not to be confused with the secret meat elixir. Edward knows what I'm talking about. So, as this is heating up, you'll know it's heating up because the oil will start to have almost like a current going through it. So, the first one we're going to do is the French toast puff. So you briefly dip, not too coated, but make sure everything is coated. Into the oil she goes, place it carefully. Now that's not hot enough, but it's all good. Making sure that all the oil is touching the bread as you place it into the pan. So these will effectively fry and they will be delightful. Now currently we're waiting for it to heat up properly. No trouble at all. In the interim, we've got our small pan which we're going to apply some butter to provide the training for scrambled eggs. And you're thinking, oh, we don't need training for that. I've made scrambled eggs a gazillion times. Well, I thoroughly agree and I understand. But it never hurts to have some proper training. Yes, we want to make sure that's nice and heated up. As you can see, the French toast puffs are starting to puff. Delightful. Little salt and a little pepper in the butter for the eggs. Not too much, as my assistant will be devouring this today. What do you think it's good? Yes, I quite agree. Huge shout out to the Vandevier Breaks, Spencer Vandevier. Oh yes. And Rico Carafino, you know who you are. And the SSI, Miss Laura. None of this would be possible without her. None of us would be here. I would be stuck in the space-time continuation device. We're going to have these astir one more time and then apply them to the pan. Now there may be residual. If you have a small plastic device, you can scrape it out so you're not wasting it, yes? Now we're going to let that steep until it starts to stiffen up. Have our sausages astir. You don't want them to burn, that's also on rather quite low. Now these French toast pups are nearly ready to turn. We want to make sure they're thoroughly cooked. You'll know if they're a nice golden brown. A brown and a brown she goes. Delightful. Oh no, oh no. Oh no, that's our theme song. We have time to scatter. You know, the other day I was preparing something and nearly dropped my monocle into the scrambled eggs. It was horrible. Took me hours to clean it off. So, in the process of scrambling eggs, which we're doing now, what you want to do is let the egg fall over itself. Just around and around. Because if you don't, you'll have basically the equivocation of a chopped omelette. My assistant likes them rather quite well done, as do I. Nearly burnt. That way you know the albumin and the yolk is properly cooked. I highly recommend when you're cooking meat or eggs to make sure they're thoroughly cooked. I personally prefer them slightly on the burnt side because you know it's cooked, yes? Yeah. So those are good to go. We're going to reduce the heat of the sausage and turn off the eggs outright. Now, going back to our French toast puffs, I'm reasonably confident that they're nearly perfect now. And we're going to have them a turn. Oh, yes. Yes, I quite agree. Mind you, the object of the French toast puff is a frying procedure. You want to make sure they're thoroughly cooked. Now, over here in the small pan, our elixir is starting to do its elixiring thing. You don't want it to curdle too much because it'll be more like a caramel. But the more you curdle it, the more caramel-esque it will be and you will enjoy it, I'm here to tell you. And at any rate, especially when it's very cold out, who in his right mind would want cold syrup and cold butter on French toast or pancakes, I ask you? Crepes even, yes. So at the same time, we've got our plate and we're going to do a scant serving suggestion. Eggs go here. Sausage will go here, and these are chicken sausage, organical. Wonderful. Delightful. Yeah. Oh, as you can see, our elixir is starting to boil. We don't want it to boil, we want to stop it now. So, in the interim, we've got a ramekin. And we're going to put some of that into the ramekin. Wonderful. Place the ramekin in the center of the plate. Your French toast puffs are nearly completed, if not so. Let them drain to a slight extent. You may use absorbent paper. Place them like so. Oh yes, look at that. That's more like the affect we want, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. And one last thing. We will make the proper French toast. And here we go. As you can see, that was mixed up moments ago. You still have some oil complement in your pan. Once again, only coating. Don't let it soak too long. Wonderful. And also be careful of splashing. Make sure you're conscious of children in the room. Always be on the lookout for the safety of young people. And the safety of those who are not quite so young, like myself, here. I'm surprised I can do this being 100 and something years old. It's quite good. Same thing here. Give them a toast, make sure they're loose and they're cooking properly. Wonderful. And we're nearly done with this particular episode. If there's any questions or comments, please feel free to leave comments in the comment section down below where it says comments. These are nearly done. We're going to have them a flip. Oh, yes. Mind you, the best thing to do is try to cook them as long as possible without burning them. And having the right amount of oil is also helpful. You'll know they're nearly done when they come off the pan, yes? Delightful, wouldn't you say? Oh, yes, I bet you can't wait to try them. I can't wait myself. I'm so hucking hungry I can eat a meal prepared by the constable. Ha 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 ha! Learning to laugh at oneself is the greatest gift, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. Did you see that simulated flip, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you once again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Godspeed, God bless you, and peace be to you.
The ever capable and always culpable Constable Finstable. Finstable!